advertisers are, forecasted to lose about $42 billion in 2019 because of ad fraud. So what exactly is ad fraud?
So ad fraud is where bad actors are basically claiming that they got engagement from real users when they didn't. So they might be sending bots or fake ad engagements and claiming that money from the advertisers unfairly.
Yeah, so what is the amount of fraud cases in Southeast Asian digital market at the moment?
So fraud cases is hard to put a number to, but the amount of dollars lost. So we're looking, anywhere between 20 and 40% of ad spend could be lost to ad fraud. Numbers for APAC region puts like 2018 to about 18 billion, but it's looking to more than double in the next 3 years.
You mean 53 billion cases?
No, $50 billion worth of ad fraud loss in the next 3 years.
What about in numbers? How many cases?
It's prevalent. Like everybody that's advertising is at risk of ad fraud currently.
Okay, so what is the most common ad fraud in Southeast Asia's digital market?
Sure. So Southeast Asia has a high dominance of mobile penetration in consumer base. So there's lots of mobile targeted ad fraud. So that could be generating lots of fake clicks that are going to generate misattribution, and so the wrong party gets paid when they didn't actually engage any real users.
Okay, now moving on to Indonesia. What is the state of ad fraud in Indonesia at the moment?
Yeah, it's quite prevalent, but unfortunately there's not so much awareness in the market. So, some of what we're here to do is bring awareness and help people to tackle the problem.
Okay, now in terms of money, what is the loss caused by ad fraud in Indonesia?
So in Indonesia specifically, it's hard to gauge a number.
Because it's a huge market, isn't it?
But we're looking, 30 to 40% of ad spend could be lost to ad fraud. So if somebody is spending, $1 million, could be $300,000 to $400,000 lost from that budget. Yeah.
Okay, how do you think ad fraud, is causing loss for small and medium enterprises here in Indonesia?
Sure. So the biggest cost to small and medium enterprises is really the opportunity cost. So many of them aren't tackling the problem through prevention. In advertising through these channels, rather just moving their budget elsewhere. So their tactic at the moment is just to move all of their spend to, say, Google and Facebook, where they're as a perceived less fraud, but the opportunity is then lost. They can't reach the same audience, and their cost to acquire those users will increase. So, with the right measures in place, with something preventing the fraud, they would be able to expand their reach into other channels, which are better economics for their business, which will help them grow and scale out their business needs.
Okay, now so what is the future of ad fraud in your point of view in Indonesia? Where is ad fraud going in Indonesia?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's just getting worse at the moment. I think as more people become aware, as they see options that are unfolding, then we can start to tackle the problem head on. But the forecasts at the moment say that it's going to double in the next 2 years and increase from there.